It's Aloha Friday.
Well, aloha! It's Friday. Well, it's also September 1st. So here we are. We're moving towards the end of the year. Did you guys go out the night before and last night and look at that blue moon? Second full moon of the month. And it was a super moon because it was the closest in the rotation of the moon around the earth to the earth. So it was big and it was the second moon of the month. So all the lunatics were definitely having fun. Um, Weather's cooling down here in the Southland, Southern California. We all survived our big hurricane a couple weeks ago. Everything's drying out, and now things are cooling off for the weekend. So it should be a great 3-day weekend and a good time to go look at homes if you're not going to the river or up to the mountains or over to the beach with everyone else. So the Fed's been in the news again. You know, the inflation rate's been hasn't dropped as much as they thought it was. So let's look at how inflation affects the housing market. We've done this before. I think it's time we do it again. So, have you ever wondered how inflation impacts the housing market? Well, believe it or not, they are connected. So, whenever there's changes in one to one, both are affected. There's a So let's look at the relationship between housing inflation and overall inflation, huh? So shelter inflation is the measure of price growth specific to housing. Again, that's shelter inflation. It comes from a survey of renters and homeowners that's done by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The survey asks renters how much they're paying in rent and homeowners how much they'd rent their homes for if they were living in them. Much like overall inflation measures the cost of everyday items, shelter inflation measures the cost of housing. And for 4 consecutive months, four, based on that survey, shelter inflation has been coming down, which is great. Why does that matter? Well, shelter inflation makes up about 1/3 of the overall inflation as measured by the Consumer Price Index. So when shelter inflation moves, it leads to noticeable moves in overall inflation. That means the recent dip in shelter inflation might be a sign that the overall inflation could fall in the months ahead. That moderation would be a welcome sight for the Fed. Um, they've been working to get inflation under control since early 2022 when they started raising raising their rates to try to get the inflation under control. They're still trying to get to that 2% goal. You know, the latest report puts us at 3.3%. So, what the Fed's been doing to lower inflation, they've been increasing the federal funds rate. The interest rate influences how much it costs banks to borrow money from each other. When inflation climbed, the Fed responded by raising the federal funds rate to keep the economy from overheating. Each time inflation starts to climb, the Fed raises the federal funds rate to try to get it back to the target of 2%. As inflation gets closer to the Fed's current 2% goal, they may not need to raise the federal funds rate much longer. So is that a brighter future for mortgage rates? Well, let's hope. While the actions coming out of the Fed don't determine the mortgage rates, they have an impact. As Mortgage Professional America explains, mortgage rates and inflation are connected, however, indirectly. They're not directly connected. When inflation rises, mortgage rates rise to keep up with the value of the dollar. When inflation drops, mortgage rates usually follow suit, which while no one can predict the future for mortgage rates, it's encouraging to see the signs of moderating inflation in the economy. So, whether you're looking to buy or sell, or just stay informed about the housing market, connect with me, Jamie, at Jamie Barber Homes, and I'll be happy to help you. Here at Equity Union, we keep on track of everything that has to do with your house with the housing market. So listen, it's a 3-day weekend. Have a good time. It's not going to be really hot, and it should be sunny. Well, there might be a little drizzle here and there, but enjoy it. Go look at homes and get a hold of me if you want to talk about buying, selling, literally anything in the real estate business. I'm here for you. So it's Aloha Friday. No work till Monday. Well, Tuesday in this case. It's a 3-day weekend. So this is Jamie Barber with Jamie Barber Homes, and contact me for your real estate needs, and have a great 3-day weekend. Again, sorry if you're in retail sales, hospitality, or you're a realtor, because we're going to be working while you're playing. All right. Have a great weekend. Aloha.